Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here. And today we have a live reaction replay featuring the Tier 10 American Premium Destroyer, the Forrest Sherman. Now, the Forrest Sherman is an interesting little destroyer because she only has 3 guns, but man, the crew of those 3 guns, they're in really good shape because this thing is an absolute machine gun. Not only is it a machine gun, but it's a machine gun equipped with SAP. She's one of the rare non-Italian ships that have SAP as their main gun ammunition. I believe it's this one and the Austin. Then we have the Johnston coming up too that also has SAP in her main battery guns. But as you'll see here, I'm pretty sure pretty soon, this thing can absolutely vomit out shells. And since these 127mm guns do have the SAP shells instead of the, well, just normal combination of HE and AP, SAP of course has a higher alpha rating than HE, but gets similar, well, actually better penetration rating than HE, so it pins more armor, does more alpha damage, but it cannot pin, of course, near to the level of AP, so you can't really, defeat armor and get to citadels with SAP unless you're fighting something that doesn't have any armor. Also, it has pretty decent AA, as you see here. Well, like I say, as you see here, but that is of course an eagle that it's going up against. Of course, love going up against super CVs and my ships as well. But he skills beats him out of here, does manage to dodge that first salvo of torpedoes, takes another one of Eagle's planes down. Is he going to get one more before they fly away? Nope. Oh, he does right there at the end. A flak burst catches 3 more planes for 5 of the Eagle's planes shot down array. There's comes some shells in from across the map. Our driver today is one skills beats meta. I'll just call him skills from here on out because that's a rather large mouthful for me to get through in the middle of commentary. But he does spot a Fletcher there early on in the A-cap. He's going over to the A-cap, by the way, if you haven't noticed, on everyone's favorite map, Tears of the Cruisers, Tears of the Desert. This map, I don't know, it's just so open for me that a lot of the ships that I like to play don't really do well in it. Of course, ships like the Yami and ships that do well with open water, like Cabros and Colbert, they fare a bit better, but it's just way too open for my taste. You also have noticed there when you launch those torpedoes that the Sherman, while it does have 4 torpedo tubes, they have an incredibly small firing arc because they are fixed torpedo tubes. The Sherman in real life had guided torpedoes, so don't really need a whole torpedo tube to traverse when you can just guide the torpedoes after launch. Alright, here we have the Sherman doing its thing and opening up on the defense, a ship that it can absolutely tear apart. The defense has thin armor. Speaking of ships that can tear apart, hello Sherman. I'm sorry, hello Fletcher, my bad. Yeah, as you'll see here very shortly, yep, there we go. As Skills tears into this Sherman, the SAP munition makes short work of anything that has light armor, like destroyers and light cruisers and heavy cruisers that have thin armor like the defense. Oh, the Fletcher does go dark there for a second. Skills throws a couple more salvos out there just hoping to catch him. Unfortunately, he does get away for now, but that defense is right there and ripe for the farming. Look how fast the reticle, the reloaded indicator just spins around the reticle. It's so goofy. And this is before he's really taken any damage and gotten a kick out of Adrenaline Rush. Also, Thunder on the side too, another ship that he can farm down quite easily. Now, Skills is also doing the very wise thing in that he is capping right now as well. So many destroyers, they just forget that they're supposed to cap and spot and such. I swaps them over to HE there, hoping to get a couple of fires on the Thunder, which would be pretty ironic, of course. But yeah, he is capping the A-cap for his team. Looks like down south, the friendly Fletcher is contesting the cap along with the enemy Kitakazi. B seems to be open. There you go. Skills does secure the cap for his team by himself too, netting himself a very nice reward there with the with the solo cap ribbon. There's the torpedoes either from the Zhao or from the Fletcher. I'm gonna guess there's probably from the Fletcher. Alright, so he's taking the A cap. Oh, and it appears that we have the replay bug back where the points have been flipped. So if you look up at the replay bug at the points counter, you notice that the enemy team's points are ticking up right now, despite the enemy team not having a cap, and in fact should be the friendly team's points increasing. I don't know what's going on with that. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. Who knows? But that's what's going on right now. So just flip the points at the top as we go through this replay. So it looks like though the enemy team doesn't really want to get near the cap. Which, I mean, there's a Palmer and a Conqueror and a Duncan over here. Ooh, enemy Thunderer takes out the Palmer. There's no longer a Palmer over here. So there's that. Now, I wonder where that Fletcher got off to. Because when the Destroyer kind of abandons the flank is absolutely blind, which is what I think is happening right now. The Fletcher's probably headed off to the B-Cap because he did lose a good chunk of his HP. Ooh, the Brisbane takes out the Iowa. Friendly team losing 2 BBs just over the 5-minute mark. That is not a good sign of things to come. But anyway, yeah, when a Destroyer does abandon a flank, there's no more spotting for the friendly team, so you can't see what's out there. So you can't shoot at what you can't see. Brisbane takes out the friendly Lucian. Dang, alright. So the friendly team, despite getting a pretty early cap advantage with skills here taking the A cap, they seem to be not faring so well right now. Oh, there's that Fletcher. Yep, there. Sure enough, he dipped on the cap and he's heading on over to the B cap, but he's probably going to turn around now. Is that Des Moines? Oh, he has spotted. Okay, so that Des Moines should get him there with his rapid firing 230mm guns. Duncan's taking a little bit of a beating in the process. There we go. That Fletcher is now down. So is the Sovietsky Soyuz. Alright, so friendly team's starting to bring it back here a little bit. Alright, fair amount of back and forth, which is rare today, as I'm sure most of you watching are aware of. So many times a team will just start winning and they just never stop winning. It's just such a one-sided match. But back and forth here at the bit, good sign of of things to come. So it looks like down south, the enemy team is attempting to push through the C-Cap. You see the other Rosai, the Musashi, the Schlieffen, the Brisbane, and the other Schlieffen seem to be pushing forward toward the C-Cap. Although the Wisconsin just took out the Brisbane. Alright. So now both teams are down 3 ships. Skills looks like he's puttering it over to the B-Cap, or more over toward the middle section of the map to where he can make some more use of himself. Because the Sherman is really a gunboat, right? And, other destroyers, if they have torpedoes and such, when ships are obviously not in ideal position for them to farm down with their guns, they can, throw torpedoes at the enemy ships. But with a fair few American destroyers, they are mostly about their guns, so it's kind of awkward when nothing's really in your gun range, or you can't find an island to hide behind, or, you're not in a position where you can just sit there and smoke and farm the enemy ships down. It's kind of awkward, right? This is one of those moments. So, I would imagine he's probably heading over to the BC Capish area to help stop that enemy push, because so many ships will be turned off by a destroyer or something in smoke farming them down that they'll just stop where they're at, and rather than pushing up and taking a fair amount of damage to the face, but sinking that ship and then pushing forward to complete their objective, they'll just turn around. So you'd be surprised how persuasive one angry smoke cloud can be. So looks like, yep, the enemy team is pushing through the C-Cap right now. The Kamikaze and the Rosario doing that, and the defense has gotten to the A-Cap. Eagle takes out the friendly Duncan. So now the friendly team is down 4 ships, but look at that, so is the enemy team. They just lost their other Sovietsky Rosaya. And the Kamikaze is still going to complete that C-Cap though. But the A-Cap is being flipped as we speak. And Super CVs, man, as this man is expressing in chat, who doesn't love Super CVs, right? I love that, World War II era surface combat ships can see jet fighters. It's great, like the Eagle. I believe the Eagle's torpedo planes or jets, or maybe that's the USS US that I'm thinking of. So it looks like Skills has changed his mind here. Maybe. Looks like he's turning back around to the A-Cap. Because now that the enemy team has the C-Cap, and the A-Cap's being contested, the friendly team is no longer gaining points. They are now just basically in a lockstep with the enemy team for points gains. And as the enemy team either sinks the friendly ships, then that means they'll pick up in points, or the enemy team continues to lose ships, then obviously, the advantage will go to the friendly team. But given the way things are looking at right now, if you look at the map, you've got a Thunderer on the enemy team's western flank. A Thunderer with her very accurate 18-inch guns, and a defense with accurate 14-inch guns that can make very quick work of pretty much anything on the map. Ooh, that Des Moines, he got the Zao, but he escapes the rest of the torpedoes, but I believe that was the Thunderer's HE coming in there. There's the Eagle dropping on the Yamato. Alright, so it looks like Skills is going to turn around, and he's going to go face down a Thunderer and a defense in his 4 Sherman. Now, first Sherman is a pretty good boat, but Thunder HE hurts like hell. So, I don't know, you know? We'll see how it goes. But the defense and the Thunder, like I mentioned at the start of the video, they both have very thin armor. So, you can't make quick work of them with his sap. It does appear that, and I'm not, trying to take a dump on the friendly Eagle player, but it does appear that the enemy Eagle player is the better of the two, because that's, I believe, the second or third ship he sunk the past handful of minutes. Alright, opening up on the Thunderer now. Thunderer does go dark. There's a defense who's managed to edge his way out of his smoke screen. British cruisers cannot stop for the life of them. And you'll see so many newer players to British cruisers forget this, and they'll just zip right on out of their smoke. Not really sure why. Oh, the radar. The Des Moines does have radar, so I believe the Des Moines probably radared that defense. So rather than sitting in the smoke and, well, just getting dumped on by everybody's moving now to his advantage. Popping hydroacoustic search in the water. The defense does have torpedoes. I don't remember if they are 10-kilometer torps, but it does have torps. So just out of an abundance of caution, Skills has popped that. He's thrown down the defense quite nice now, down to 8,000 HP. He can still get his sap shells over that island thanks to the American catapult arcs. And gets one more tap on him before the defense does go dark. Ah, now here's the Thunder. Up, the defense is back again. Is he going to open water gunboat it? Is he? Is he? The Chad. Open water gunboating in a Forrest Sherman. Typically, oh, the defense just took out the Des Moines. That is not great. Typically, you don't want to do this because, well, American destroyers, they're not overly fast, and the Sherman is actually quite a large ship. There you go. The defense is down. It's got that nice boxy superstructure for HE shells to bite into. Alright, so the enemy team is still catching up. Oh, yep, there they go. They just surpassed the friendly team of points, and they are taking the B cap now. Alright, this is not fantastic. So the Thunderer goes behind the island. His sap shells are landing, I'm guessing, long. It's kind of tricky to get the shells to land where you want them to land, especially with shells like sap that you need to land on a very particular part of the ship. When you can't see where they're going. Obviously, you can walk them in by the hit markers and such. I'm sorry, by the ribbons and such. But it's still fairly tricky to do. Okay, so he's going to go for the A cap. I assume he's going to go try and dive that and bring that back. Ooh, Musashi just took down the encounter. So now the enemy team they're approaching a 200-point lead over the friendly team. And now they have all three caps going in their favor, so they're getting 9 points every tick cycle. As Skills continue to whittle down the Thunder looked like he was considering him there for a second. Looks like his guns are being trained on probably the Wisconsin and the Conqueror. With the Eagle, if you can see that. But he is still farming him down quite nicely here. Swept him over to HE. Hopes of setting a fire. Which, he's hit, what, 40 times now? No fire so far? There we go. Finally we get a fire out of the Sherman's guns. Yep, nice. Swept the back one over to sap. I believe the sap shells can penetrate every single point on the Thunder, with the exception of course, the turrets, the barbettes, and the main belts, because they should be able to pin 32 millimeters of armor. Let me take a peek at that. Can they pin 32? They can. All right, so again, prime time farming opportunity here for Skills. All right, turns hard over, eats one shell of the Thunderer's HE, gets one fire set on him, and he pops damage con, dodges that salvo. Here comes the forward two guns though. Ooh, that hurt. Now see if he got all 8 shells to land. I think that would have been almost a dead Sherman there if he had all 8 guns on target. Up, Schlieffen, that is not something you want to see, especially in a destroyer, because that thing's got hydro and a hell of a lot of secondaries. So let's see what his plan is here. I would farm down the Schlieffen. Everything is broken. The torpedo tubes, the rudder. He's lost his AA completely, apparently. Alright, he's going to stay on the Thunderer, though. I would swap over to Sap here. I think he just did that. Yeah, there we go. Alright. So he should eat this Thunderer for breakfast here. Yeah, 9,000 HP. That's nothing to the Sherman's DPM. Thunderer firing a full blind salvo into the smoke, and he misses Skills by a few pixels. And now he's got a Schlieffen to tear down. The Schlieffen could just charge him right now and pop his Hydro. And speaking of popping Hydro, Skills did pop his Hydro. So now he can see where the Schlieffen's torpedoes are going to be coming from, because the Schlieffen probably dumped torpedoes at the smoke. Smoke's a bit of a torpedo magnet, especially to battleships who, actually have torpedoes. Things still not looking good for the team. They are down still by over 200 points, although Skills is flipping this cap at the moment. He stopped there because he just left the smoke, and he doesn't really have the HP to be spotted by the Schlieffen and her secondaries. Ooh, Schlieffen actually blind fires and nicks him there with that rear salvo. And torpedoes. Ooh, can we do a little bit of torpedo beats here? Oh. Shooting the torpedoes will not help Skills. Very nice reverse entry there by Skills into that torpedo spread. Alright, just a few of those shells really need to land, and he should have a dead Schlieffen here. 410 HP. Oh, and the Wisconsin stills it. Although, again, at this point, I don't think it's really stilling. You kind of just need the kill. Alright, so enemy team, they're not losing as badly now because they have the one cap, but they are still losing the points game at this moment. You have a full health Eagle, a quarter health Schlieffen, and this Kitakaze, I don't know what he's at. The Conqueror is hiding behind the Eagle. That's something. Oh boy. So he's got 3 minutes left. They gotta kill a Schlieffen, a Kitakaze, and that Eagle in 3 minutes and change if they want to win. Huh. This isn't looking too good. I'm not sure if he's going to win this. Again, I haven't seen this replay, so I'm watching this live with you guys for the first time. So, yeah. Alright, dumps his torpedoes out at the... Oh, the Kitakaze is very close to the Eagle. He's probably going to murder it here. Unless the Conqueror can blap him. Maybe the Conqueror sitting back there was a blessing in disguise. Well, that's a pretty healthy Kitakaze, though. Conqueror's got pretty good HE. By pretty good, I mean, like, some of the best battleship HE in the game. But, I mean, he's still got a... And he fires AP at the Kitakaze. That's an interesting choice. I mean, it worked. Eagle airstrike on the Kitakaze takes him down to 4K. Oof, I don't know about that. See, they're just turbocharging the Kitakaze until he dies. That's how powerful the Kitakaze is. Who's he farming down? Yeah, he is farming down the friendly Eagle. The Schlieffen's still up, too. Ooh, those are the Kitakaze torps, or those are the Schlieffen torps? Eagle eats one of whatever torps that was. Okay, Conqueror does take it down the Kitakaze. Okay, that's good. Eagle is almost down. He's down to 5,600 HP. I think he's still spotted. Schlieffen is at 8,600. Oh, this is close. And they're still down by over 200 points. And again, that difference is growing because the enemy team does have 2 caps. So if they kill this Schlieffen, they have to kill this Eagle, who's probably running by now. And another thing about the American destroyers, they are slow, as Skills is pointing out in chat to the fellow shouting at him to cap the A cap, the B cap. So I'm guessing the friendly Eagle is going to live. There should be a dead Schlieffen here. Okay, cool. The Eagles took out the Schlieffen. All right, but still, they're down by 131 points. They have 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the clock. They have to find this Eagle and sink it. Eagle has an armored flight deck. So the Wisconsin's not going to be much help. The Conqueror might with his HE. And I think the Eagle was at like almost full HP when he was last spotted. So, and he's probably running too, right? Like he should... Oh, there he is, there he is. Oh, yes. Yes, he's not running. He's just on the edge of the Sherman's range. There comes the AP in from the Conqueror. Okay, again, armored flight deck. Armored flight deck, yes, but you know what doesn't care about armor? Sap shells, but it does care about armor, but he's gotta link them into the tower there, and there we go. Gets the kill that saves the game with under 1 minute left on the clock. There you go, ladies and gents. You see, it's not always about damage. It's about what you do. You know, it's cool that you got 300,000 damage and you sunk 1 ship, but hey, look. Skills here, capped 2 caps, got 3 kills, and one of them saved the match for sure. And his spotting, for sure, saved the game. I know that the friendly Eagle found the enemy Eagle, but guess who kept him spotted there for the rest of the team to just dump on him? That was Skills there. I even made a nice bit of credits there as well. Skills is a free-to-play player. By the way, he has not put a dime into this game, and he has a Sherman, so there you go. nice, happy ending to a story there. But that was a good match. Good back and forth match. And again, you know, you don't always have to have a 300,000 damage game to have a good game. You know, having game impact is very important. Capping caps, getting the right kills, focusing on helping your teammates. That is a big thing. And for sure, if he had, you know, allowed that defense to run wild with his accurate 14-inch guns, that would not have been a great time for his team. So, very excellent game there, Skills. Thank you so much for sending it in. If you have a replay of a nice game like this, a nice close game like this, please send it into the email linked in the description down below. Hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday and wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.